Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin sitting down for his first interview since the U.S. shot down a Chinese spy balloon and then 3 other flying objects over North America.
Has anyone claimed ownership of the last 3?
No, they haven't.
The intelligence community now believes those 3 objects were not hostile, but Austin defended the recommendation to take them out.
The safety and security of the American people is always foremost in our minds.
The decision, he says, made because the objects threatened commercial aviation and may have been collecting intelligence. Objects like these likely over U.S. skies for years, but going undetected.
Is this something that the American people have been potentially in danger from for years and just not known it?
We don't know if, how frequently these things may or may not have appeared in our airspace. We're learning a lot more about that.
The fact that the U.S. military didn't know about these until recently, is that an intelligence failure? Was that a military failure?
No, it's how you use your radars. They recently made some adjustments on their radars and opened up the aperture, and they're analyzing the data a bit differently. We typically are focused on things that are moving fast, and so it's a bit more difficult to collect on slow-moving objects like a balloon.
China today again insisting that its balloon flew over the U.S. accidentally and that in response to new U.S. sanctions, it will, quote, take countermeasures against relevant U.S. entities. Austin acknowledged recent tensions with China have halted communications with his military counterpart.
When something happens, they somehow tend to shut down their military channels of communication. I think that's dangerous, but it won't stop me from continuing to encourage them to open up the lines of communication. I think that's the right thing to do.
As to whether the U.S. could end up shooting down more objects, Austin said the government needs more information about what the first 3 targets were.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.